then we have a significant and a very competitive export opportunity going forward. Ford has global brand power and distribution, and as we build our base volume in India, there is no question Ford will be able to become a major Indian exporter. Chennai is our base in India, and as I previously mentioned, we have recently invested $500 million to create an integrated state-of-the-art manufacturing complex. The Tamil Nadu government has done a fantastic job of helping unlock its inherent strengths and building on the efforts and foresight of the central government. Not only must we have the capability to manufacture goods to stabilize and grow our economies, but together we must take on the technological challenges facing us, particularly in the area of energy independence and environmental sustainability. Our communities and our customers are asking for solutions to these problems, and we need to find a way to be part of the solution. At Ford, we have determined to lead the way to a future beyond fossil fuels, to a new age of safe and sustainable transportation. But so is the competition, and we have now engaged in the greatest engineering contest since the 1960 space race between the U.S. and the USSR. Our approach is not to pursue every possible solution. We have laid out a specific technology roadmap that will allow us to make the biggest impact on our collective goals of reducing emissions and fossil fuel use in the near term, while ensuring that we are ready with new technologies as they mature in the mid and the long term. Making our petrol vehicles more fuel efficient is the first step towards this future. In addition to the great vehicles like the Figo, our new EcoBoost engines are able to deliver immediate results, a 20% improvement in fuel efficiency across our lineup, a 15% reduction in CO2 with no loss of performance or capability. Then there are the hybrids, which are an intermediate step to full electric vehicles, and beyond full electrics may be hydrogen-powered vehicles. Whatever the ultimate answer, one thing is clear. Our technological solutions to these large-scale problems must be affordable, and they must be part of a system solution that will only be developed through public-private partnerships. It's exciting, and we are confident in the ability of India to compete in this area. What really intrigues and amazes me about India's potential is rooted in India's people, and especially our young people. We have millions of young people coming up, full of youthful energy. They are ambitious, they are thirsty for knowledge, they are hungry for opportunity, and they are eager to contribute and advance, and they love Ford. They are growing up in an age that offers more opportunity than any other time in India's long history, in a society where information and knowledge flow freely. Each year, millions more gain access to the Internet, and with the ability to read multiple languages, even kids growing up in remote villages far from the nearest library have a universe of knowledge open to them. So I can imagine the kids from here to Kerala just vacuuming up knowledge. I imagine for all future engineers, the mathematical prodigies, and the budding writers. We see an incredible wave of young talent in India on India's horizon, and we want to open the doors for them at Ford. We want them to know that in joining Ford, they have the opportunity to join a company with a compelling vision to work together with our communities around the world, to truly serve by opening the highways to all mankind, and to contribute to economic growth, energy independence, and environmental sustainability. It's an honor for me and for Ford to be part of this important conversation this weekend, and part of the ongoing conversation we will have in the years to come as we work together for the good of India and for the good of our world. The entire Ford family is excited by the opportunity that is being afforded all of us as leaders and members of the global community to work together to develop a robust plan that delivers this compelling vision for all of us going forward in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alan. I particularly liked the way you wove the Ford story within the manufacturing story. So I was at times wondering whether we were weaving the manufacturing story into the Ford story or the Ford story into the manufacturing story. I just want to add one point that you spoke about sustainability, economic growth, and environmental concerns. The bigger concern just now is countries across the world, economies are reinventing sustainable economics. How does the plan to manufacture globally? I mean, we already know the opposition to outsourcing and the phrases like Bangalore and stuff. So when you do this kind of global operations, I mean, in a global car, an Indian car, which will be sold abroad, how do you look at the political opposition to this kind of manufacturing? And the second part would, if you could sort of elaborate a little more as to how emerging economies like India and maybe China, where does the green initiative fit in these countries? Because, I mean, you're still manufacturing the traditional burn oil, petrol cars in India. But, I mean, do you have a plan for solar? I mean, if you talk about frugal use of energy and environmental protection, then, I mean, solar is really one of the stories. So if you could go that, and then I'll open up the floor for questions.
Very good. I'll be glad to share my thoughts. On the first question, it was so interesting to me when Bill Ford called to find out that Henry Ford's original vision was to participate in every country around the world where he was going to serve the customers with cars. And as we all know, that was a very different model than most companies that operate globally. And so it was very gratifying to know that we had great operations in every country. The other interesting thing was I was just absolutely amazed at how independent each of these companies had become. Like, I remember with everybody talking about merging with each other in the automobile industry, a number of the reporters would say to me, well, Mr. Mullally, are you going to merge with another auto company? And I'd say, absolutely. And they'd all get out their pens and get ready to write down. And they said, with who? And I said, we're going to actually merge Ford. Didn't get such a big headline, but you get the idea. And the talent and the knowledge that we have worldwide is incredible. And so what we really are doing with our One Ford is tapping into that knowledge worldwide so we get the best in knowledge about our customers, about quality, about productivity, about enabling technology. And it's one of the reasons we've been able to move so quickly. The other part of your question is about how to leverage your assets worldwide. And the Figo is just a perfect example. It's on a global platform. It serves a number of markets around the world. And as we bring on more and more of our products to India, you'll see more and more of these global platforms where the majority of the vehicle will be the same. It'll have the advantage of all the enabling technology, and then we tailor it for the unique taste of the consumer.
I just wanted to sort of butt in there. You said about bundling the knowledge of various parts of countries, the world, global knowledge, and putting a vehicle together. But politicians are knowledge proof. Mm-hmm. So how are we going to deal with the threat of outsourcing, the threat of losing jobs? I mean, obviously, if you were to manufacture the entire Figo in the US, you would have created much more jobs and much more sustainability to that economy. But here you're talking about manufacturing something in various parts of the world. Right. So how do you deal with the politics of that?
Well, in our case with this business model, we are in the fabric of every company in which we operate. So we're never outsourcing. And we want to, every place where we operate, just like in Chennai, we're expanding the entire supply base. About 70% of the dollar value of a car, just like a commercial airplane, is with our suppliers around the world. So as we not only further develop our assembly and our design, our manufacturing capability, we're also developing all the supply base. On the question at the end, I think the most important thing is to have a point of view about your brand and what it's going to represent to the consumers going forward. Information is ubiquitous. Everybody knows everything, and they know everything about cars. So in our view, that's why we focused on the Ford brand. That's why we decided to be best in class on quality, fuel efficiency, safety, and smart design. So every customer knows exactly when they go to get a Ford what they're going to be able to get. They're going to get the car that they want, the size that they want, and whether it's a truck or whether it's a sedan, it's going to be best in class in those characteristics. I think the next is that every vehicle that you design and produce needs to be an improvement over the one before. And from Ford, every year we're going to continue to improve the vehicle on every one of those key customer metrics. I think the next is that consistency of purpose. The brand has got to be so clear for everybody, because that's the way that you build a brand, and that's the way you keep a brand. And then back to the comment about safety and efficiency, that things happen. And the most important thing is that people want to know you're making great products. They want to know you're part of a strong business. You're going to be there for them for a long time. And they also want to know that you have a plan to contribute to a better world. So everything that you find out is always focused on that customer and making your products better and better. And I think that we're the only company that has Ford. That's Henry Ford, and it's Ford, and it's the name on the outside. And just think, my colleague, the chairman of the board, is Bill Ford, and so it really helps as far as the brand is concerned. But I think those are the most important things. And then people will pay. They'll pay for the value that you put in a vehicle, and these vehicles will never be commodities because they're so important to our lives. So that would be my thoughts on that.
Thank you, Alan. I guess one of the lessons Toyota could draw on from this is to find the guys whose name should be put on the badge so they don't have to recall cars. But I'll end it on that note. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful.
I request Mr. Puri to kindly come and present mementos of the India Today Conclave 2010. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Alan Mulally. Thank you so much.